Hi, this is Joe's Corner 76. I'll be talking to you on the human condition. In order to change it, we need to be involved. Individual responsibility. Do you really think we have a lot of individual responsibility today? I don't. It used to be that members of our government, when there was a scandal in their department, they said, I take responsibility and I'll resign. That was the honorable thing to do. That rarely, if ever, happens today. People today think, many of them do, that the government owes them a living. The government owes them something. Society owes them something. What are they lacking? They're lacking the idea that they are personally responsible for their life, what happens to them, and where they're going. When they look at alcohol or drugs, they try to say, well, they made me do it. That motor accident wasn't my fault, it was a result of alcohol. I'm telling you now, and always will tell you, personal responsibility. The person made the choice to use those influences that caused the accident. They are responsible for them. When people say, look at how this government is going, look at how this society is going, and I say to them, what have you done? Have you voted? What do you think? What are the issues? Where have you investigated? Again, I'm coming back to what personal responsibility have you taken? When I look at the health system, I hear people saying, this has to be fixed, that has to be fixed, we should do this, we should do that. But one of the things that they miss in the equation, again, is personal responsibility. You're responsible for overeating, you're responsible for drinking, you're responsible for drug taking, you're responsible for not exercising. You are responsible, and you are a part of the solution to the health system. Take some responsibility for it. Men, when are you going to start taking responsibility for your children? How many of you say, oh, I escaped paying child support, I'm not going to do it, I'm going to run away? How many of you have stopped listening to your wives and your children? How many of you have stopped taking that thing called personal responsibility for my family? How many of us expect the schools to teach our children morality, to teach our children how to dress, to teach our children how to behave? No, it's not my problem. I spend my taxes. They should be doing these things. I'd like to say to you that no, it's your personal responsibility to raise your children. It's your responsibility to instill in them values of honesty, decency, work ethic, and reliability. It's up to you to show them that you accept responsibility for your actions. It's up to you to show them that you can change what you do by you behave, how you behave, when you behave, and where you go. Are we a society that says we are not responsible, they have to do something about it, the government should do something about it, I'm just going to be a passive bystander? You can't do that anymore. The world's changing at such a fast pace that if you don't take responsibility for your actions, you're going to be left behind. If you don't look at what is happening to your freedom, you're going to lose it. But it's going to be your responsibility. If you look at the job market and don't prepare yourself and educate yourself for the jobs that are there, and you can't get them because you're not prepared, you can't blame anyone. It's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to look at this society and say, There's good, there's bad, but I, as a responsible person, I'm going to do my part to change it. How can you be a responsible member? How can you stand up? Keep a job. Keep out of trouble. Don't do drugs. Have some morality. Speak up when it's wrong. Tell people, I take responsibility for this action. I'm not standing for it anymore. Don't worry if others say, oh, you shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't have done this. Take responsibility. If you think it's the right thing, stand up. Be heard. Today, more than ever, individual responsibility. Don't say, oh, life is running me by. Life did this to me. Life did that to me. I believe with all my heart that 10% of what happens to us happens to us. 90% of what happens to us, we allow it to do. We allow it to happen. We don't stand up and accept responsibility. I think now that you should look at your life, you should look at your relationships, you should look at your job, you should look at your education, you should look at your life and say, have I accepted responsibility for my life, for my job, for my family, for my children? Or have I just gone with the flow and now I'm lost? I don't know what to do. First thing you can do is look at yourself, look at your actions, look at where you live, how you live, and why you live, and say to yourself, I am where I am, or I am not where I should be, and it's all because of personal responsibility. I'm telling you, friends, personal responsibility can set you free. Accepting responsibility for your actions can pay huge rewards. You'll know who you are. You'll know why you're at somewhere. You'll know why you did what you did. You don't have to assume that somebody owes you a job, society owes you a living. A lot of what happens to you is up to you. And how can you change it? Personal responsibility. Try it. I know you'll like it. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Joe's Corner 76. You can hear me on Spotify, Google Podcast, Radio Public, Apple Podcast, and on YouTube at Joe's Corner 76.